He'll stop me and say, "My house," and when I get upset he goes, "It's my house, but since I'm yours, you get to live in it," or something similar. It makes me feel so shitty when he does that. He sorta does it jokingly, but it happens without fail almost every time, and I've tried to tell him it's hurtful and he just laughs and says he's kidding. For context, he bought a house last year right before we got married. I was part of the entire process since we already lived together, but he put his savings into the down payment and it was his name on everything for obvious reasons. I had recently spent the last of my savings to pay off student loans and was only doing freelance remote work, so I wasn't really bringing in much money and was trying to focus on my mental health. He has a really good paying job and always said he was happy to support me. I've even talked about getting a job in my field again if that would make him happy, and he assured me I don't need to. Cool. But now it just feels like because his money is what buys mostly everything, that I'm some mooch just living off of him. Mind you, I'm pregnant with our first kid due very soon. This was all discussed extensively that I was to be a som. So why does he feel the need to hurt me like that? Does he secretly wish I was working and bringing home more money? Does he think I'm pathetic? It makes me feel like I'm a fucking roommate who hasn't paid rent and he's doing me a favor. And another thing that confuses me is if my parents' relatives ever want to give us anything, like a wedding or baby shower gift, he gets annoyed because he wants to be the one to buy that stuff for us and doesn't want to rely on other people. To address some common questions. There was no prenup and no mention of wanting to keep assets split after marriage. We have a joint bank account and I also maintain my old accounts under just my name. Some people suggested he just wants to feel appreciated. I know that's not the case because 1. He explicitly hates being thanked. He says it makes him feel like he's doing it just for the praise and that makes him feel shitty. 2. I find ways of showing my appreciation by cooking, cleaning, managing everything in the home, taking care of him, etc. I don't want to portray him as some controlling asshole who doesn't let me do things. It's tough to paint an accurate picture since I don't want to give out my entire relationship story on Reddit. I have freedom to do whatever I want and he is supportive. It's just little things like this that make me question his deeper feelings, even though any time it comes up he reassures me he is happy to support me and doesn't think I'm any less than he is. I want to be a som, I don't want to put my child in daycare. He and I both feel that way. The possibility of remote work is still there too if I feel I can balance both, but I think the deeper issue lies in our communication and that's on me too. After taking into consideration the comments and different perspectives here, I am going to address him tomorrow. Today was bad because he worked late and was exhausted, and try to be as open about how I feel as I can. I'll update here when I do. Thanks to everyone who felt the need to help. I do feel very validated in my concern at the very least. Additional info. Comment 1. I have my own personal bank and credit card accounts that are separate from his. That's where my freelance income goes. He doesn't put money into it, but I have cards to his bank that I use for all the house living related expenses. Yes, I am covered under his life insurance if that's what you're asking. I've never gotten the explicit notion he didn't want me to be financially taken care of. I think it's an ego thing or something. Comment 2. I show my appreciation as much as possible. I clean and cook etc. I love taking care of him and the house. I tell him how proud I am of his achievements at work and I listen to him talk about work whenever he needs to vent. I've never gotten the impression he doesn't feel appreciated. Maybe it's a power ego thing. I need to get my thoughts in order before talking to him and not let my hormones turn this into a crying session because lately that's what happens when I try to speak up for myself. Update. Thanks to everyone who commented. I was honestly shocked that it got so much attention and that so many people felt compelled to help. I ended up talking to him a few nights ago, after I got all my thoughts down on paper and felt emotionally ready to talk about it. I said, when you point out that it's your house or that you paid for this and that, it makes me feel like I'm an unwanted guest in your house. I've told you how this makes me feel but you still do it, which makes me feel like this isn't just a joke like you claim. I want to feel like an equal partner in our relationship, especially since we will be bringing our child into the world so soon. When we were engaged, we were both so excited to go house hunting together and make it our home, for us and our future kids. You told me you were more than happy to continue working so that I could stay home to take care of the house and kids and dogs, but lately it feels like you resent me for it. Now that I'm bringing our child into the world, I want to make sure there's no hostility or resentment between us. And I want to hear your side because currently, I just feel hurt and I'm worried this will keep building if I don't address it now. If me going back to work and contributing to the mortgage is what you want, despite what you said to me a year ago, then let's talk about it. So I read that to him and he immediately said that he never meant anything by it and it was stupid and immature of him and that he'd work on it. He didn't realize it hurt me so much. After talking it through a little, he said he thinks it might stem from growing up poor and finally building a comfortable life for himself. He agreed it probably has to also be an ego thing, and maybe stems from the fact that his dad couldn't take care of their family and his mom had to work 2 to 3 jobs. He said he wants me to feel like an equal partner and wants me to feel at home in our house. I also asked about putting my name on the deed and he said he would. I do think he means what he says, but I also need him to prove it with his actions words for me to truly feel comfortable. But we're moving in the right direction and I'm glad I was able to express that to him. Thanks again for all the advice. Update 2, I'm shaking and crying as I write this. I now understand all the red flag comments on my last posts. I didn't see it. I trusted him. I'm so fucking stupid. Here's what happened. He went on a work trip this week and promised we would sort the house deed stuff when he comes back. His apology sounded genuine and I believed him as much as I could without the proof yet. Today I just had a weird feeling in my body. His texts about work have been really update why, like constantly telling me what he's doing or where he's going. I didn't think anything of it until earlier, when he said he was taking a nap and wouldn't be on his phone for a few hours. This is weird because the man despises naps, they fuck up his sleep and he feels like shit after. So I checked his Google Play account from our home PC, his Google account is always logged in. He probably doesn't know I know this, but I can see what apps he has or recently had installed on his phone. Why this is important: when we were dating, he had a severe sexting addiction. We broke up because of it. I had suspicions and caught him. But we ended up getting back together after he swore up and down it had stopped and even gave me permission to look at his phone whenever I wanted. I eventually stopped checking because I trusted him. A few years have passed and we're obviously now married with a baby on the way, and I've trusted him. Our intimacy has basically died since I got pregnant, but I blamed that more on myself than him because I just don't feel in the mood or sexy. He never tried anything, so I didn't have to reject him. It was just like he felt it too, I guess. I thought that was normal. So anyways, I looked at his account and saw that he had all the apps he used to use for sexting installed and recently used on his phone. Snapchat, Telegram, WhatsApp, Instagram, Tumblr. But the worst one, the one that broke my heart seeing, is that he has Tinder installed. Does that mean his work trips he's actually fucking people? He's had a lot of work trips the past 2 months since he won't be able to travel for a while when baby arrives. I'm devastated and angry and I feel so stupid that I was making excuses for him and trying to paint him in a better light when everyone was telling me to run now what to do. I want to call him and tell him I know, but the only evidence I had is screenshots from the Google Play website showing they were installed and recently used. I want to get real evidence because I know he'll uninstall everything before he's back. Part of me wants to just leave and go to my parents' house 4 hours away with the pictures printed out for him to find when he gets back. But I don't think that will solve anything. Additional info. Well, actually, he has 3 devices under his Google Play Store account: phone, tablet, and Chromebook. Most of the apps had been last used on Sunday on his tablet. The day before he left, tablet is here, confirmed it's uninstalled now. Some of them are also showing last used recently on his Chromebook. So it's definitely no accidental download. Especially considering it's like 6 or 7 apps that he has only ever used to hide sexting from me. He doesn't do social media otherwise. Story 2. It happened yesterday. Was expecting my new Mac Pro, which I saved a lot for in the past few months, to arrive. It was nearly $6,000. I was given a delivery window and of course it was delivered during the window, at a time that I was in the bathroom and didn't notice. My girlfriend collected the package and hid it, so I was left wondering where the package is. When the delivery window passed, I called the delivery company and they just said that the window is a guideline and asked me to call back in an hour, which I did, and after tens of minutes of being on the phone they finally told me that they have called the driver and it's already delivered. I told them that it's not delivered and the driver is either mistaken or lying, which basically started an argument for maybe 5 minutes where I asked to talk to a supervisor. To make it short, I was on the phone with them for 4 hours telling them that they have either delivered it to a wrong address or that their driver is trying to steal the package. During this time, my girlfriend looked worried and she even started searching online for misdelivered parcels and even posted on Facebook that this has happened. At the end of the day I was told by the company that they will give me a call the next day to update. I also called Apple and made them look into the situation and they said that they will investigate. So at almost 7 p.m., after being pissed off for more than 6 hours, she brought the package and said that it was all a prank. I was beyond pissed and before I could say anything she just said goodbye and left. I'm still beyond pissed. Love her and she's always been very nice, but this whole thing was just fucked up. Dr. Girlfriend hid my new Mac Pro and led me to believe that it wasn't delivered, and I spent hours arguing on the phone with the delivery company. Relevant comments. She handed you the package and just said goodbye and left? It doesn't even seem like she got anything positive out of this, including enjoyment, so I can't understand why she would choose to do this. I personally despise pranks, so seeing you go through that willingly is pretty fucked up. I'm sorry this happened to you. She started laughing, but when she saw how pissed I was, I guess she just decided to call it a day, maybe to avoid an argument. I wonder if she even thought about the delivery person possibly losing their job because of this, being suspected of stealing a $6,000 item, which is a felony, thereby possibly initiating a police investigation. Yeah, I'd have a serious talk with her about actions and consequences. I already have. I've never been this embarrassed in my life. Update. So she apologized to me and explained why she did it. Apparently, she and her sister had a bet to pull the most insane prank on their boyfriends. Her sister put salt in her boyfriend's beers, and my girlfriend did what she did, so I guess we know who won. She realized how stupid this was. I also called the delivery company and apologized for everything. Told them that my friends had pranked me without any consideration. They were not happy about it, and they told me that they had suspended the driver until this issue was resolved. So I guess it cost the poor driver a day's pay. I'm gonna let it pass. It's over now. Edit. As some people suggested, it seems the original post has been removed. This is a screenshot. TLDR, my girlfriend did an insane prank on me that left me so pissed off. It's okay now. Relevant comments. Are you kidding me? Your girlfriend should have called the delivery company and apologized. And she should pay the driver his day's pay. I honestly called and apologized the next morning, out of concern for the driver. She offered to do it, but I had done it already. An innocent delivery driver, who had done nothing wrong, is suffering from all this, and you're gonna let it pass? What else can I do? The delivery company didn't accept a reimbursement offer. Maybe tell her to find the exact driver and apologize for her rudeness, for the trouble she caused you and the other guy. Don't they leave who left the package? I tried getting details of the driver, but the company didn't do it and wanted to, quote, be done with us. That driver is sitting at home, with his wife and kids, trying to figure out how they are going to pay their bills for the next month if he gets fired. Worrying about being evicted. Wondering how they are going to tell their daughter they can't afford ballet this month because daddy might get fired for something he didn't do. I wonder how much he laughed at her prank. Her behavior shows a level of selfishness and inability to think about the consequences of her actions, which makes me worry about her as a long-term partner. She said she had not at all considered the consequences for the driver, otherwise she wouldn't have done it. She's 28 years old, and she couldn't think forward enough to not hurt people? I would seriously reevaluate your relationship, and keep an eye on things, if she can't develop more empathy and thoughtfulness for others. If she can't, it'll bite you in the ass again, probably at the worst possible time. She's generally very compassionate. This was a moment of stupidity. Final comment from I texted the sister's boyfriend asking, how was the beer? He replied, fuck the sisters. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to connect with each other in the comments below. Until next time, be kind, be curious, and I'll catch you in the next video. Corner Stories signing off.